Hello, my name's Tanya and this is my channel Just Let Me Sew. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you are well and that you have been able to get some sewing done recently. It feels like it's been a while since my last vlog. I did mention that I have sort of had to rearrange my sewing at the moment because we are having building work done. So my sewing room is actually next door, sewing room / office space, and that is now our temporary kitchen. So my poor sewing machines have been relegated to their travel bags and they have been put upstairs, and I'm hoping that at some point I will be able to hoik them out and get in a little bit of sneaky sewing, but we will see because the house right now feels a bit chaotic. Yeah, probably enough said about that. So here I am in a different room than usual. I am sitting in my living room on the sofa and I have got quite a long vlog for you today. So settle down, grab yourself a drink and yeah, let's get started. The first thing I wanted to share with you, I hope that you will be supportive of this. I have been approached in the past about doing collaborations with organisations, with companies, so promoting goods, etc. And I have always turned them down until now because I just felt perhaps they weren't quite the right match for me, or I didn't quite agree with their terms. And I was approached recently by the gorgeous handbag, luxury handbag company teddyblake. And I can remember Rachel from Stitched Up did a collaboration with them not too long ago. And her bag that she received was just beautiful, you know, really gorgeous, stunning quality leather handbag. All of Teddyblake's bags are handcrafted in Italy using really high quality leather. They very much support local artisans, so really strong company ethic there. And I have to say that the communication, the style, the approach that I had from Teddyblake from start to finish has been fantastic. They have been so supportive in terms of meeting my needs, not putting too much pressure on me, demands on me. And I wanted to be able to unbox the bag with you, and it has literally just arrived about an hour ago. So I'm really excited to show it to you. So here is the box that arrived. It came in a nice big cardboard box, so when it arrives you definitely feel like you are getting something special in the post. And this is the box, gorgeous big box. I know my cat is going to love sitting in that box when I'm finished with it. So let's open it up and have a look inside. It's a very solid box. Here we go. So opening it up, I have not opened this yet at all, as you can see. So it's come well packaged. And the bag that I went for is called, let me just grab my notes. It is called the Nina Croco and it is size 12-inch. And I chose the colour dark blush, so excuse the rustling. Wow, it's come really well wrapped. One plastic bag and another bag of bubble wrap. There we go, and a gorgeous fabric bag to keep it nice and secure. So let's open it up. Here we go. Beautiful bag. I love that colour. So the reason I went for this colour is because I think it will be really versatile. It will be great for just casual and also for looking a little bit smarter as well. So let me just move this big box. My cat is not in the room at the moment, so she can't jump in that just yet. Okay, so here we go. Nice label. I like this clasp actually. If you have a little look, it's not just your usual sort of throw over clasp. That's going to keep it nice and secure. So you twist that to keep it nice and safe. So great when you're out and about. Open it up. Stuffed with lots of tissue. Lots of tissue. very well packaged. And inside, you can see it's leather inside. Love that natural leather finish. And then we've got a nice little zip in there. That's a really sturdy zip. You can feel that's good quality zip. And a good sized pocket in there to keep things like your purse, etc. So I love that. I hope you can see the good size of it. Perfect for just throwing over your arm, or you can hold it if you would rather. And for a mum of 2 young kids, I am often asked to carry this, that and the other. I think this will be perfect for that. And as I said, great for also going out as well. You can get all your things in there. Beautiful. And you can see at the bottom, it's got teddyblake, New York. So yeah, this bag was actually shipped all the way over from the States, and it came really quickly. They gave tracking information so I could keep tabs on where it was. And as you can see, the packaging, the way it was sent was really, really good quality. So I hope you don't mind me promoting this bag, but as I said, my experience with them has been fantastic. Of the companies that I have been approached by, they stood out a mile of just having a really good company ethic, and their communication was really, really good. So that is a lovely little treat. So if you are looking for a special treat, perhaps a special birthday coming up, put some hints out there. I will put the link to Teddy Blake's website down below. So do check them out if you are interested. They have so many different types of bags, from, you know, little handbags to larger bags like this. They do wallets as well if you wanted something a little bit smaller. So do have a look. Okay, so next up, I'm going to talk to you about what I have been making. Now, I did have a bit of a last minute flurry of making things because I was aware that this deadline of saying goodbye to my sewing room was coming. So I had to go through my fabric stash and sadly vacuum pack it all away. I did think about filming the process, but it was quite lengthy. And I also took the opportunity to add some things onto Stash Hub at the same time. So it was quite stopping and starting kind of process. But while I was doing it, I came across some fabrics that I thought, yes, I want to get those made up. Or I've put to one side and allowed myself a very small pile of fabrics that I might get round to using up while the building work is going on. So the first thing that I came across was a little remnant I had of this gorgeous animal print, which is a cotton lycra. I got this from a fabric shop up in Dunfermline in Scotland a couple of years ago now, I think. I will link the fabric shop down below. I don't know if they have any left in stock, but what I've made up is a little pair of cycling shorts for my daughter. I had made her up a similar pair, which I shared in my last vlog for the So Fruity Challenge, which I didn't get round to actually entering into the So Fruity Challenge, but I used those as a little template to make her up another pair, and they just come together so quickly, don't they? Really nice, satisfying make. I did put a little label in them, which I let her choose for herself, and she liked the little rainbow handmade one, which came from Becky's Sewing Studio. And I think it's helpful for her to have a little label on so she knows which is front, which is back. So I made those up. Now, while I was rummaging in my fabrics, I came across a whip that I didn't know I had. I'd kind of forgotten about it. And I started making it when I was doing a collaboration with Sew Erin. I will link Erin's channel down below as well. And I just never got round to finishing it. I suspect the weather probably changed and I wasn't really too keen on making any summery things anymore. So here it is. So all I had left to do was bind the armholes and the necklines. I think sometimes that seems to be like a recurring theme when I hear about people talking about their vlogs. They discover whips and realise, actually, I didn't have that much left to do. Why didn't I just finish it? And that was the case with this one. So the pattern I used, sorry, just looking at my notes, is New Look 6434. And it is a really good, versatile pattern. Now, I know there are quite a few sleeveless sort of tank patterns out there. What I like about this pattern is it does come with the option for sleeves. It also comes with the option to add ruffles to the end of the sleeves and ruffles along the bottom as well. So it's really versatile. It closes at the back with a button, and I have used elastic to make sure that that button stays put. I find sometimes when I make those out of bias binding, either it's too small or the button just slips out. So with elastic, you can make sure it really stays put and doesn't come undone during the day. Now, I did do a full review of this pattern in my collaboration with Erin, so I will try and link it somewhere up here for you. And I talk there about how I made just a little change to this back seam. They have you do something quite strange that I couldn't get my head around, of how you sort of finish that back seam to then get it to go into that keyhole opening at the back. And all I do is just finish the seams before sewing it together. So I overlock the edges and then sew it together up to the opening and then top stitch down the opening. So it's a bit easier that way. What else can I say about this one? I just used binding of the fabric, nothing fancy, and the same on the neckline. And I kept the length, the original length, and I turned it up for this one. Usually with hems, I'll just overlock the edge and then fold it up, press it and stitch it. But this one I actually turned it up and up again. So quite impressed with myself there. Okay, the next make was also using that pattern. And what I decided I wanted to do was to make a co-ord set for the, let me get the name of the challenge right, Let's Sew Together for Summer. I think that's what it's called, Sew Together for Summer perhaps. And that was being run by Sewing in Spain and Jen Legg. And I realised that also in the month of July I had made myself a pair of bob pants, and I mentioned in my last vlog that I wanted to try and make a co-ord set with the scraps I had left. And I'd forgotten all about this challenge, so it was the perfect opportunity and a nice little push for myself to get it made up. I did have to make a few little changes to get this top made up, because I was literally left with scraps after those bob pants and really didn't have much fabric left. So what did I do to get this top out of it? Well, if you look at it from the front, it all looks pretty similar. I wanted it to be cropped in length for that co-ord look, so I took a good 3 inches off. But the change is in the back. I did not have enough fabric to make these 2 pieces in one length, so I decided to actually cut it just below that keyhole and have this as one piece, another piece, and then I had enough to do that on the fold. So 3 pieces to make up my back piece instead of 2, and I think it actually looks fine. I didn't have enough to do perfect pattern matching. So the side, it doesn't match there, but I don't think anyone would notice that. For the armholes, I used these cute little strawberries bias binding from Specky Seamstress. So I did that on the armholes. I decided with the neckline though that I would use the scraps to make binding out of what I had left. So I think I had to do, how many joins did I have to do? About 2 or 3 to get enough to make some binding for the neckline. But I'm really glad I did, because you know, sometimes if it doesn't sit completely flat, you might get it peeping out a little bit, or when I move you might see it. It doesn't gape, it's all right, but I just thought, play it safe and have it the same fabric for the neckline. Can't get my words out there, sorry. So I will hopefully have added some photos in of me wearing it at some point. I wore it to my Red Hill Sewing Social last Sunday and got lots of lovely feedback on it. So it was the comfiest thing to wear. I would really recommend making a co-ord set. The bob pants are so comfortable, really breezy, and this was very comfortable as well. So that was my co-ord set, which I entered into the challenge. As I said with So Fruity, I'm not being the best with entering challenges at the moment. Okay, nearly 15 minutes in. The next thing I have to share with you is non-garment sewing. And you may remember I have made up the Adam Sews Pouchy Pots pattern before. It's quite a tongue twister. And I decided I want to make some up for some of my family. So I made up another 3. I don't have them anymore because they have now been gifted, but I will insert pictures of them here. I used some fat quarters that I got in the So Eco Fabrics Nibble Summer box. Terrible vlogger, I completely forgot to take any pictures of that nibble box. If you haven't heard of So Eco Fabrics, oh, apologies, terrible vlogger again. The fabric for this is actually from So Eco Fabrics. Sorry, Rosie, if you happen to be watching. It is now sold out, but she does have it in the blue and rust colourway. Gorgeous cotton fabric. Yes, so anyway, back on track. I used some fat quarters from the So Eco Fabrics nibble box that she released recently in a gorgeous gingham. And I also added the little cactus pouch, what's it called? Patch, similar. The cactus patch, I sewed that onto the front of that one. I also used some, what's it called? The name has gone completely out of my brain. The type of fabric, it's not Tula Pink, it's like it, calf facet, that's it, yeah. I used some fabric that I stumbled across at Hobbycraft. I was very, very lucky to find a pack of, actually it wasn't a fat quarter, it was a ½ metre reduced down to £1, which was an absolute bargain. I think somebody priced it down and didn't know what the value was of it. And I also used a fat quarter that I got from Hobbycraft as well. Now for the pouchy pots, this is one I have made before. You've seen this before if you watch my vlogs already, and that I use for my little scraps when I'm sewing. Now, when you make the pouchy pot, it is made from one big panel here. I made the size medium and it was a little bit too long for the size of a fat quarter. So all I did was fold the pattern piece in half and add a little seam allowance and just cut 2 pieces and sew them together. So in effect, you have 2 seams, one there and then one on the opposite side, which is absolutely fine, not a problem at all. And it means you can use up all those lovely little fat quarters that you've got hanging around. It is padded with some foam, so it makes it nice and sturdy. And then there's a lining as well. The lining you can stitch in the ditch along the bottom there, or you can just leave it as it is if you want to as well. It's the quickest thing to make up and it's so satisfying because you got yourself a handy little storage pot, which is always good to have. So I would really, really recommend the pouchy pots. I will link it down below if you are interested in having a look at that pattern. I think it took me an hour and a half in total to make all 3, because if you batch cut them out, you just sew them all up at the same time and it came together really quickly. So perfect for presents as well. I know Catherine from Soverton Makery made some up for teacher gifts at the end of the school year as well. So love those. Now, the next thing that I want to share with you is some fabric. And I know you're probably thinking, why are you buying fabrics when your sewing room is non-existent and I've just vacuum packed up all of my fabrics? Yeah, I can blame Rachel for this from the French Seams, because she shared a gorgeous viscose fabric that she received and it was just the colour that I was looking for. And then while I was there, of course, I happened upon other fabrics that I also liked. And even more interesting is it is from Rainbow Fabrics, which, as you may or may not know, I'm not the biggest fan of, because I got stung quite badly in their Christmas sale that had the really long delivery times. And I've also been stung a couple of times in the past by fabrics that just weren't what I thought, and their customer service was pretty shocking. But I thought, do you know what? I'm in no rush for these fabrics to arrive, so I'm going to go for it. I love the look of these fabrics. I'm going to take the chance. And they have arrived today and they are beautiful. So the first fabric that Rachel shared is this gorgeous viscose with this green animal print. Now when I bought it, it said 2 meters left, so I of course snaffled up the last 2 meters. They may have restocked and have more. I will link below if I can find it. It's a gorgeous viscose. Now Rachel did kindly share on her vlog that it is a little bit sheer, so you may want to think carefully about underwear choices, but it's not too bad. And I have got in mind a blouse for this. I think I'm going to try and replicate a top that I saw pop up on Pinterest, either in this one or the next one. So I need to hunt around for a pattern that is similar. Now on the picture that I saw on Pinterest, it's kind of hard to see the details because she has the top bit open a little bit. So I'll insert a picture of it here. If you can think of a pattern that is similar, do let me know in the comments down below. I would really appreciate your help with that. But I love that. It feels like a really good quality viscose, very soft as well. Now the next fabric I saw, I have been looking for something quite similar to this, genuinely for quite a while. I'm just trying to justify it to myself and to you as well, that I really did need this fabric. And again, the picture of the blouse that I have put up there, I think is pretty similar to this. And I'm thinking to recreate that blouse, I might add some kind of piping or maybe just like some white viscose to panel effect it. I'm not sure. Again, if you have any thoughts, let me know in the comments down below. But here it is, this beautiful viscose crepe fabric. And if I hold it up close, you can see it's got a slight texture to it, but it doesn't feel too slippery. It feels like a good weight. So I'm hopeful that this will be quite good to sew with. I mean, I say quite because viscose crepe. Viscose on its own can be a real pain, but when you add viscose crepe into the mix, it just moves around all by itself, doesn't it? So I love this, and I have really been loving the colour green, this darker sort of emeraldy colour green for quite a while. So 2 meters of that as well. Love that. Now another colour I've been kind of not obsessing over, but just liking at the moment is the colour blue, but the more purpley blue. So you can see I'm wearing a light blue now, and also navy blue. I do like blue quite a lot, and you can see my walls are blue as well. So while I was there, I came across this lovely, they called it deep periwinkle. I'd say it's more of like a lavendery mauve colour. Also just spotted my nails blue as well. I think I might have a problem. They called it a viscose modal, I think. I will write it somewhere here of what exactly they said. And I was a little bit worried. I thought when I looked at the texture on the screen, I thought, oh, do you know, I reckon that's a viscose twill and it's actually going to arrive and be really heavy, and not at all what I think it is. But I think the description is accurate. It is a bit darker than I thought it would be, but that's okay. I think it's all right. Do you think that suits me, that colour? Suits the bag quite well, actually. Quite like that together. So again, 2 meters of this, and I want to make a blouse. Now what I would like to do with this is perhaps make up the Marnie blouse and have a go at doing those pin tucks along the front. I have made the Marnie quite a few times, and I've never bothered with the pin tucks because I've made it in quite patterned fabrics before, but I think with a plain, those pin tucks will really be noticeable. So I might do that, or I might just play it safe and make myself a good old Anna Allen Anthea blouse. We will see what mood I'm in when I come around to making this, when I come around to making it as well, because I think if I make anything in the near future, it's going to take me a long time. Now I have got a sewing social coming up in September, which feels like quite a way away, but I'm looking forward to that, of 4 hours of sitting down and just sewing, and that is my Red Hill sewing social on the 7th of September. If you are in the south of England, sort of southeast area, and you're looking to join a sewing group, do check us out. My Instagram handle is Just Let Me Sew, and I post little adverts on there when I have dates available. It's also got my email address, which is justletmesew22@gmail.com. So if you're interested in coming along to the socials or just want to find out more about them, drop me an email. They are the loveliest group of people. Very inclusive, very supportive, very friendly. It's not cliquey at all. Everybody talks to each other. Probably even more so, we talk to the new people to make sure that they feel involved. So if you would like to come along, get in touch. Next date, as I said, is the 7th of September. Okay, that's everything from me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you as well for listening to my collaboration with teddyblake. Do check out their website if you are interested. Again, the link will be down below if you are interested in a special treat for yourself or somebody else. Hopefully it will not be too long until my next vlog, but we will have to see, because sewing time is not really on the cards for any time in the near future. Do look after yourself, take care, and I hope to hear from you in the comments and see you on my next vlog. Bye!